Alright, this is my journal entry number 1 for my diversity workbook. I'm going to answer 2 questions that I'm supposed to answer. The first one being, what elements of diversity stood out to me during this round? And the second one is, where do I see challenges/opportunities in addressing differences in conflict? So the first one being the elements of diversity that stood out to me during this round. So many. Hard to even narrow it down, really. Well, I guess elements of diversity, especially in Mississippi, there was that. Mississippi is a very predominantly black, maybe not state because I haven't really been to the whole state, but the areas we were working in were predominantly black, and so it was just different for me because Grand Rapids is like a pretty white area where I'm from, and so it was it's not like, let me think how. It's like the kind of thing where it's not like you're scared or anything. Like, obviously, like, there's no reason to be, like, scared. Like, that would be racist. But you notice, like, you go to an area where it's predominantly, like, a different ethnicity and, like, you notice, you know what I mean? So that stood out to me. And just, I guess, the fact that we were working in pretty poor areas because of the whole thing where, if you live in a flood zone, you're probably kind of poor because you can't really afford to not live in a flood zone, which you would probably do if you could afford it. And so there was sort of like that whole wealth issue too. But I guess I myself am pretty poor, so it's not much of. I guess I'm used to that. Yeah, so that stood out to me, and I guess. Oh, another thing talking about like LGBT stuff, like a lot of people on our team are gay, so that's like something that I guess I have like a lot of friends who are like that already, and it's like obviously something I'm also pretty used to, but it's like interacting with people who I guess aren't like considered yet by society, or maybe society's progressed to the point where that is like completely normal to most people, which is good, at least to most people in our generation. But I guess that's still something I could consider stood out to me, is just like working, like with people who I guess aren't accepted by everyone for their lifestyle choices, not choices even, like by the people they're not accepted by, it's considered a choice, but for who they are, and okay, so that's what stood out to me, I guess, and where I see challenges/opportunities in addressing differences or conflict, that is, well, I guess challenges. I guess it's just, as is the case in any conflict, it's just communication. People need to be willing to listen to each other, which is like, I feel like people view communication as talking, and they don't. When you think of communicating, you're talking, but that's only half the story. The other half is listening. So I guess more even than explaining what's wrong, I think the challenge / opportunity in addressing differences or conflict is that we need to be able to listen to each other.